Ezekiel 46. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah is short for Yahweh, YahWeh, Yod-He, Vav-He. There's no difference. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only. Yah is an extremely jealous El. He's so jealous he doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to even come to our lips. That's how jealous he is. And he's the one who created us, so it's his way or the highway, you know what I'm saying? The letter J is about 600 years old, and the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity more than 2,000 years ago, and a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yehoshua is Joshua. You know the book of Joshua, when you go to it, because on the left it has the English, and on the right it has the Hebrew. And you can go back to Joshua, and it says Joshua, Yehoshua. Exactly how it's spelled, only it just needs to be put into the Hebrew text. Boom. Yehoshua. Joshua. It's insanely beautiful. I love it. Ezekiel 46. Thus said the Master Yahweh, the gate of the inner courtyard facing east is shut for 6 days of work, but on the Sabbath it is opened, and on the day of the new moon it is opened, and the prince shall enter by way of the porch of that gate from the outside, and he shall stand by the post, and the priest shall prepare his ascending offering and excuse me, and his peace offerings, and he shall bow himself at the threshold of the gate, and shall go out, but the gate is not shut until evening, and the people of the land shall also bow themselves at the entrance to this gate before Yahweh on the Sabbaths and on the new moons, and the ascending offering which the prince brings to Yahweh on the Sabbath day is 6 lambs, perfect ones, and a ram, perfect one, and the grain offering is 1 ephah for a ram, and the grain offering for the lambs a gift of his hand, and a hin of oil for an ephah. Sorry, I think I just got something in my eyeball. Anyways. And on the day of the new moon, a young bull, a perfect one, 6 lambs, and a ram, they should be perfect. And he prepares a grain offering of an ephah for a bull, and an ephah for a man, and for the lambs as his hand attains, and a hin of oil for an ephah. And when the prince enters, he comes by way of the porch of that great and of that gate, not that great, of that gate, and goes out the same way. And when the people of the land enter before Yahweh at the appointed times, whoever shall enter by far of the north gate, or by way of the north gate to bow himself, goes out by way of the south gate, and whoever enters by way of the south gate goes out by way of the north gate. He shall not return by way of the gate through which he came, but he goes out through the opposite one. And the prince is to be in their midst, entering when they enter, and going out when they go out. And in festivals and in the appointed times, the grain offering is an ephah for a bull, and an ephah for a man, or for a ram. We don't sacrifice humans. And for lambs, the gift of his hand, and a hin of oil for an ephah. And when the prince makes a spontaneous ascending offering or spontaneous peace offerings to Yahweh, the gate facing east shall be opened for him, and he shall prepare his ascending offering and his peace offerings, and as he did on the Sabbath day, and he shall go out, and after he goes out, the gate shall be shut, and make a daily ascending offering to Yahweh of a lamb a year old, a perfect one, preparing it morning by morning, and prepare a grain offering with it morning by morning, a sixth of an ephah, and a third of a hin of oil to moisten the fine flour, a grain offering to YahWeh, continual everlasting laws. Which means that even if you make another covenant, they're not to be tossed out. Although, unless it comes to the sacrifice, that's the only time that it gets tossed out, because Yehoshua became the sacrifice. And prepare the lamb and the grain offering and the oil morning by morning, a continual ascending offering. Thus said the Master YahWeh, when the prince gives a gift of some of his inheritance to any of his sons, it belongs to his sons, it is their possession by inheritance. And when he gives a gift of some of his inheritance to one of his servants, then it shall be his till the year of his release, then it shall return to the prince. Only the inheritance of his sons is theirs. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And the prince does not take any of the people's inheritance by evicting them from their possession. He is to give his sons their inheritance from his own possession, so that none of my people are separated from his possession. And he brought me through the entrance which was at the side of the gate into the set-apart rooms of the priests facing north. And look, there was a place at the extreme rear toward the west. And he said to me, this is the place where the priests cook the guilt offering and the sin offering, where they bake the grain offering, so as not to bring them out into the outer courtyard to set the people apart. And he brought me out into the outer courtyard and made me pass along to the four corners of the courtyard, and look in every corner of the courtyard was another courtyard. And in the four corners of the courtyard were courtyards covered over 40 cubits long and 30 cubits wide, these four corners having one measure, and a row of building stones all around in them, all around the four of them, and places for fire were made under the rows all around. And he said to me, these are the kitchens where the attendants of the house cook the slaughterings of the people. Now, when I say slaughterings of the people, I don't mean the people being slaughtered. I mean their ascending offerings and offerings of animals that they gave on their behalf. Israel. Okay? It doesn't mean sacrificing people, okay, Israel?